Jeez. Is it you? Love her or hate her, she's good at making videos. So it turns out if you're
Lives to independence in 1776 were the heirs to this majestic courage. Their hearts beat with English is just an idea, where a particular place, where with a particular people, and a particular set of beliefs say they don't belong. So yeah, as Schmidt, a lawyer for Missouri Attorney General, mocked the idea that the U.S.
Read that last sentence again, please.
Yeah, sure. Place with a particular people, and a particular set of beliefs and a way of life. He said, the people whose ancestors fought in the Civil War. It's a little unclear to me, to Norm, exactly what.
Yeah. Hey, who was saying who doesn't belong? Is he saying that Americans have more right to be here than illegal immigrants? Is that a point? Or am I being too?
That's the way some of Vance's statements have been read. Yes, it's things he said on multiple occasions. That there's the and Woodard has this contrast.
Scott, respectfully, that's not responsive to what I said.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
Obviously, that was said at a presentation for King Charles. So he customized his message for King Charles. If the president of Germany had come, he would have said something different. If the Pope had come,
remember that.
he would have said something different.
I'm trying to remember when he said, "Oh, that wasn't a great day for you." I think it's some German thing.
Hey! All things said and done, I think the idea of MAGA itself is a deliberately left open to interpretation capital policy, right? Because I think one gentleman earlier mentioned about the fact as to how MAGA is no longer just about making America more white, more Christian again, but it's also about sort of reviving the old sentiments as to want the fathers of the nation had earlier comments, particularly appeal to people who've been sort of bereft of whatever is happening in the country forward. They just go with people who rather appeal to the sentiments of the country, right? Which is also what we see happening in New York, right? Because people are so bereft of what the market has to them, and when they come forward, they just go for whoever says the nicest things. I mean, it's no doubt that whatever is around that he had put in his manifesto was just complete bullshit. I mean, it is not his prerogative at all as to whatever he proposed to happen. Directly to the state of Albany, right? In terms of the legislature, so it's actually very clear as to what is really happening. They are really it's not a joke when we say that the American government has lost legitimacy over the past 20-30 years, and every time when their accountability has been brought into question, there has been something or another of exogenous shock that is constantly plundered the American economy into so many other things, right? So the entirety of ideology is really just namesake now, because I'm going to be brutally honest here, but how many people under Republican or the Democratic aisle do you really think match with the ideology? Barely any. I mean, gun to the back of my head, I would actually say
Hello, Sash. Do you have a point? Are you going to make a point, or are you going to go on forever?
No, the point that I'm really trying to make is let's not discuss about the ideologies, because we're really not getting anywhere. Let's talk about the actual sort of things that are being put into the Senate or House or whatever.
Yeah. I respect that, Sash. I do want to read one more passage though from this piece. Again, this is written by Colin Woodard. I can put my interview with him in the chat. He's a fantastic writer and historian. At Nationhood Lab, the project I founded at Salve, Virginia University, we recently asked likely voters which statement of natural origin they more agreed with, that were built on the idea that everyone is born with the rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, or on the character of the Anglo-Saxon people, their distinctive love of liberty, and their sense of glory, destiny, and pride. Americans rejected Trump's formulation by 85-15, a whopping 70-point margin, and a 76% margin with Trump's own voters. So Woodard talks a lot in his book Nations Apart at the end about this idea of America as a creedal nation or as a sort of more traditionally ethnic nation. And I think Trump does and Vance both talk more in the ethnic language than the creedal language. In fact, I would say Trump doesn't even know the creed. Like, I think if you said to Trump, what are the Federalist Papers, he wouldn't know. I mean, when he said, when they asked him, I remember Laura Ingraham asked him, what's the Declaration of Independence? It's independence. He said, what's it mean? It's a document of love, of unity and love. I mean, it was clear he didn't have any thoughts on the Declaration of Independence, right? I mean, so I think that I do think American greatness to Trump doesn't seem to be about ideas, right? Doesn't seem to be about ideals, about founding ideals. It seems to be about power and ethnicity, right? I mean, I'm not, yeah, I mean, that from his language, Vance is a little more sophisticated about it.
Yeah, I concur with Scott entirely. I mean, if you look at the number of executive decrees that have sort of been given by the president, it's really I can't seem to keep count. Almost he's sort of ruled down every single thing that has been.
Billy, you got something to say there, buddy?
Yeah, Scotty. Hi, buddy.
Good to see you, pal.
Thank you, President. So, yeah, Make America Great Again is just a con, a marketing scam. I mean, what it means to me is, let's build monuments to myself. Make America Great Again. Just a con.
Yeah, that's an interesting. Yeah, I mean, that's maybe mildly cynical, Billy, but maybe perhaps worth a little cynicism. I don't know. But I do think you're right. I do think there is something about America as an ethno-state that you pick up in Trump's rhetoric. And Vance's, it's more explicit in Vance's language, but you hear it in Trump too. You know, I just don't, like I said, I just don't hear Trump talk about American ideals the way, say, Obama or Bush Jr. tended to.
Exactly.
Andy, does that make sense, or am I being unfair? If I'm being unfair, let me know. This is the Trump I hear, and I think you probably hear something different.
I'm focusing exactly on the words "Make America Great Again." Not focusing on, I mean, Billy has brought in a whole bunch of other stuff. God bless Billy. He knows we're friends. But his analysis is informed by his overall view of Trump. I thought we were looking at the words "Make America Great Again" on their own. What do those 5 words, or whatever it is, 4 words, what do those 4 words mean? I don't see any linkage to Black women working. I just don't see the linkage. I mean, I get it. Billy doesn't like Trump. A lot of people don't like Trump. But what's the linkage of "Make America Great Again" to Black women working? I just don't see it.
I think, but that's okay. I think what people who read it that way, like, it sounds like, I don't want to speak for Billy, but I think people that would make some of the criticisms would be that okay, so great, again, we're turning back the clock, right? So how far do we turn it back, right? Because it's not too far back in our history where the country was far less inclusive, right, to anybody but whites, and where women were marginalized, and where lots of sort of different kinds of minorities were marginalized. And so is I think people honestly ask, like, is Making America Great Again, how much of that is going back to a more hegemonic reality, right? Where one group is a little more dominant, and that group is white Protestants, right? And so I think that a lot of people, I think, hear that language when he talks about. It's funny too. There's a book, Mortal Republic. I've had the author on my podcast too, Ed Watts, and he's talking about like the decline of Rome from republic to autocracy. But he talks about the make Rome great again narratives, and he talks about restorative narratives, right? That oftentimes populists come along and say we got to turn back the clock and we got to make things great again. And inevitably, it's an angry ideology, right? Because you have to. If we're not great anymore, there's a group of people involved in this, and you've got to blame those people, right? And you've usually got to say they're bad people, right? Because they put us in this place. Yeah, and so in Rome it got quite violent. You've got, because sometimes you kill the people because you got so mad. But it's the liberals, it's the PC people, it's the people that make us use pronouns, and like Randy said, people that make you apologize. I mean, like Obama apologized for the country. What the hell? How dare you apologize for America? That kind of. I think when you have this thing that we're not great anymore, somebody made us not great, right? And then you have to blame those people.
I mean, look at the rhetoric. This country was dead before I got here.
Yeah, this is Alistair. Can I say that? It's just basic psychology, and Billy is right. MAGA is a jingo, a brand, a marketing term. It doesn't represent America or the Republican Party. It's literally just a function. But anyways, the point is, there are in-groups and out-groups, and you have to identify yourself as being the in-group and say everybody else is the out-group. I mean, it's just psychology and politics 101. And when Billy says that the white Christian Protestants are the racist white Americans, or Trump doesn't want black women working, that is so ridiculous. And it really speaks to what Billy projects, which is his liberal ideology onto everybody else. Like, Billy's the greatest guy in the world. Everybody should fuck Billy. Billy's hot. Billy's rich. Billy's the nice guy. Billy's the cool guy. And that's really the way I view Billy. And I think Billy's gotten laid like that for many years. So I salute your ideology projection, Billy.
Thank you for seeing me.
Billy's probably gotten laid for a lot of years. Hello?
Well, there, Billy. Billy, I'll send you this podcast by Colin Woodard. He's a very interesting guy. You might want to listen to. His book is actually, he talks about we're really like 11 different nations. There's Yankeedom, he calls it, which is the Puritans, and the Midlands, like Ryman, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and then he's got the Deep South and the mountains, and El Norte, which is like the Southwest, and all these. It's very interesting how he thinks that these cultural centers that were the settlements still shape the political discourse and some of the conflicts we have today.
I belong to the people who are desperate to have a ballroom.
I mean, I think the whole ballroom thing is ridiculous, that he has to go to the Supreme Court to do a construction project that he can easily have the GSA administer. He doesn't even need to be involved in it, but he's our president, and he likes building, and he has a history of building buildings. And I think it's ridiculous that people make these little snipe remarks against him. I'm just saying that go on and enjoy your life. To spend even 1 minute of your life formulating a negative comment about our glorious president, to me, is a waste of your existence and your life. Enjoy your life. Stop thinking about the orange blessed holy one.
Some people enjoy. People enjoy it. People. That's some people's enjoyment, talking about politics. Right? I respect Billy's opinions. I respect his views. he's entitled to them.
Thanks, Randy.
Yeah. No problem, bro. We're friends for life. I just want to talk about the phrase "Make America Great Again," and does that just those 4 words. I mean, I really want to drill down.
Do you believe for a second that Trump actually cares about this country? Pay attention.
Definitely.
Yeah, you're wrong. 100% wrong. He is a selfish, self-interested, greedy thief.
He's both. He's all those things, plus he cares about the country.
I think he cared more in 2016, and then I think once lobbyists got to him, that's when it all kind of really went downhill.
Well, the lobbyists didn't get to him with the vaccine schedule, did they? Because yesterday he announced he took it from 77 to 12. And people are screaming about that. Oh, everybody's going to die now. No, everybody's already got autism. 1 in 12 young men have autism because of the 70-plus injections we have to take for no fucking reason. Because Big Pharma has a capture and control over our government and over our economy. We need to build houses. We need to build cars. We need our essential items. We don't need a vaccine war economy. Hello?
That song fucking sucks anyway.
Yeah. That's the album that Page has the least involvement in. That album is mainly John Paul Jones and Robert Plant.
Randy, there you go, turning it into a music group. Good job.
Somebody else is playing music.
Yeah, I do think they need to be a lot more honest and transparent about that whole vaccine thing now, like the general schedule.
All of my love.
I've seen it affect my own children.
What happened, sir?
So my firstborn, we had her, doing all the routine, every couple months, getting her fucking pumped up. Every single time she'd have some kind of reaction or, just get deathly sick. And then around, so we went for her 1 year, schedule, whatever the fuck, I don't remember how many they had on there. But by this point, she was walking and talking fully by 10 months. I shouldn't say talking fully, but she was fully walking, could just start to begin forming. Like she was very ahead of what I see most kids doing. We took her for her 1 year appointment and she completely went backwards. Anymore, like you could be talking right to months before it finally started to kind of waver. And from there, we just decided we're not doing anymore. And my second daughter, we haven't gotten her anything. She's been fine. She's progressing very well. She's hardly ever sick, if at all. Sometimes they get some sniffles, whatever. And yeah, she's been fine. So just based on what I've seen, and then like my sister-in-law, she has a daughter. She's full, the full schedule, all of that shit. That girl is like 5, I think she's 5, and she is literally behind my 3-year-old. I have a 6 and a 3-year-old. And wow. Their 5-year-old daughter is literally like behind my 3-year-old. Like, wow. So again, it's just things that I notice. I know this doesn't apply to everybody. It's all happenstance. It could just be unique to the situation that I'm in. But based on other parents that I've ever talked to, like they see it too. I don't think the vaccines are bad. I think there's just too many in too little amount of time, if anything. But again, I have seen the effects firsthand with my own children of what seemed to be going on. And so we stopped. My oldest, we stopped completely with her. She never gets sick or anything like that. And then my 3-year-old, she's again never had it. When COVID came sweeping through, they didn't even get sick, despite me and the wife catching it 3 times, which it was just a glorified cold with some body aches for a few days, but they didn't get it.
Your correlation is not causality. Intellectual development varies enormously among individuals, and there's no correlation whatsoever between vaccines and intellectual development. So don't worry about that.
Sure.
And to say that they get too many is a non-medical judgment that has no bearing on human health. It's just
Sure. I mean, whoever wrote the books,
What book you mean?
Just whatever research and development that they had, man.
What book are you talking about, or what research and development do you mean?
Whatever they typically refer to, man.
So you're referring to nothing. You're referring to a thing that would.
Why are you so mad? Why are you getting so mad about it?
Why would I be mad?
Well, Drew.
My one failing is I have little patience for stupidity, and
Drew.
So it's stupidity.
Drew, don't take it personally. Some people have buyer's remorse and they vaccinated their children when they shouldn't have, and they have to live with these consequences, and therefore they defend their position. Some people live on a vaccine tower, and a vaccine mountain, and a vaccine castle. They live in vaccine fortresses.
It's ridiculous. It's nonsensical. I mean, you realize how stupid what you said is?
Hold on. So,
what's the correlation between intelligence and vaccine?
Come on, Norm, stop it. The point is, Dr. Fauci told women to get. People are criminals. They're murderers. They should be arrested and hung from the gap.
Then you can ask me a question. If you're not going to listen to what I say, there's no point in you asking me questions.
I'm listening to what
Okay.
If that's
so
how you think
what
it
I
works.
said about the correlation between intellectual development and vaccines. You heard that part,
Sure.
right?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Now, do you have a response to that?
I'm not a doctor. Fine.
That's for sure.
Okay. Yeah.
Nobody but you are a doctor.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Do you
don't
want
have to say that you're not a doctor because we know that already.
Just keep pushing the salt further and further into the wound.
Keep pushing the salt. You have a wound?
Anyway.
Do you have a wound?
So, can we move on?
No.
Okay.
We can't move on. So you made a bunch of statements and now you want to run away.
Can you just
Well, I mean, if I can interrupt.
Yeah.
The gentleman, I guess it's Drew, he said there's research that says supports his position. Norm asked him to name it. He didn't name it, and that's okay.
No. I didn't say there was research that supported my position.
You said books. Isn't that what you were?
I said
look at the book. Whatever the
Hold
book
on.
say.
Can you let me talk?
The book that he never
Go ahead. Let Drew go ahead.
Yeah.
What I said, I didn't say there was research to back my theory. I didn't say that. What I said was he's calling me stupid, and he's saying, "Oh, well, the medical this,
no, your
medical
position
that."
is stupid. I don't know if you're
That's
stupid
fine.
or not.
Did you say look at the books, Drew, or did I mishear that?
I'm getting to that, but he won't shut his mouth.
Okay, let's get to that part. Go ahead.
The part that I was saying was that he's talking about, oh, well, the medical research and the this and the that, and I said,
No, I didn't say any of that.
Let him finish.
Can you just shut up?
The answer is no, Drew.
I can tell.
Good.
Let him finish. Go ahead, sir. Drew, go ahead.
So anyway, when I said about books, I said, because he's talking about, oh, well, the research this, and there's no data, and this and that. I said, yeah, we'll just run with that. I was being sarcastic. I said, yeah, we'll just run with that, whoever wrote those books.
Right.
And decided that the information that's in those books is exactly what it is.
Because you have contempt for books, right? You don't like books.
I read all the time, bro.
Listen, Drew, there may be books to support your position, and there's also books to support Norm's position. The scientific community has, in the main, accepted vaccines are a good technology, and there are people with contrary views. I think we've solved this problem. I don't think we need to.
I agree with that.
There's always with everything. There's people out there who believe that global warming is a thing, and there's people out there who don't believe in it. I don't think we can really, grind this any further.
I wasn't trying to grind anything. The only point I was really trying to get to after that was that I never gave much of this thought. Then we see all of this stuff coming out during COVID, and
All of what stuff?
that it didn't seem official, right? Like it didn't seem.
What didn't seem official? What about vaccines do you doubt?
I'm helping him now. He's doubting the effectiveness of it, and I'm not being on his side. I'm just saying we don't have to burn this house down. We've established that he doesn't agree with it.
So
No,
I
I
polio
don't.
or not? Because now I'm confused. You get polio?
I'm trying to get there, but you just
No, you're not.
can't.
No, you're not.
You're not
trying
letting.
to do
Oh my
anything.
God.
You don't have anything to say, and you know it.
Drew, can I just suggest that you actually just stop, because you will not dissuade or inform or persuade these men. They are vaccine 100% militants.
No.
They support the science, absolutely. Hello?
There's no correlation between vaccines and human intellectual development. That's what I said.
Well, maybe there is, but the greater good supports vaccines.
Norm, 1 in 12 young men have autism from the vaccines, Norm.
No evidence of that whatsoever.
There's a mountain of evidence. You just don't want to even look it up, and I can't share it with you in a one sentence audio conference call, Norm. I have, Norm, there's just so much information out there that none of us can actually obtain it or transmit it to each other in a short little audio conference call, Norm. Yeah, Norm, listen. Norm, I love you, and I love everybody in this room, but the truth is 77 injections or combinations, because now they're combining 5 in 1. We've got a serious, we have a medical industrial complex in this country. If you say no, your kid can't get into the school, you lose your job with the COVID-19. Listen, Norm, you do you. I'm going to do me. It's not personal, and but if you want to actually compare information, it's very difficult to do it on an audio conference call app.
All right, that's the point I was trying to get to, is that we have a huge medical lobby in this country that funds a lot of
What
shit.
does that have to do with the correlation between autism and vaccines, or the non-correlation, or the correlation between intellectual development vaccines that you just pretended to know about?
I didn't say that. I didn't say there was an intellectual drawback to
Wait,
vaccines.
you
I didn't
said
say-
your daughter and your niece are developing differently intellectually, and you suggested that it had to do with vaccines. Did you not?
I didn't suggest. I just said that this is what happened. You're saying it like I'm trying to
so
hide.
you mentioned it, they're unrelated, in other words, in your position, right?
I didn't say that.
Oh, they're related then.
It's just you're a very black and white person.
Well, are they related or are they not?
Yeah,
You
exactly.
mentioned them next to each other in a way that suggests that they're related, right? Or no? Did that not happen? Did I dream that?
I was talking about a coincidence. I wasn't making any suggestions.
Like you met somebody from your childhood
Here we
store.
go. Yeah, here we go.
They're unrelated.
Just completely bastardized the fucking point I was trying to make.
Bastardized? So what's the relationship between vaccines and child intellectual development? And why did you bring it up?
Well, we were talking about vaccines.
That's for sure. And
So
what's
you
the
mean-
relationship?
So, I'm sorry. What was the other guy's name that brought up how many?
Doesn't matter. What's the
vaccines?
relationship?
No. Because it's supporting. It's
Yeah.
supporting.
Doesn't matter. What's the relationship?
Yeah, it all makes sense now.
For sure. What's the relationship?
No. I don't know what I'm talking about, but
Well, neither do you. That's the problem. What is the relationship?
between pumping an infant full of chemicals and possible
between
drawbacks.
vaccine. No, between a vaccine.
That's what it is. Yeah,
No, it's not.
that's a chemical, buddy.
Well, it's not pumping, and it's not a chemical. So other than that, you're right
So
on.
vaccines
buddy.
are chemicals. They aren't
No,
scientifically,
no.
but they're not chemicals.
No,
So what are they?
no.
What are they? What is
You
a
don't know
vaccine?
what a now you don't know what a vaccine is.
Don't fucking gaslight me, motherfucker. If a vaccine is not a chemical, then what is it?
Okay.
What is it? Yeah, exactly. You can't even fucking rebuke that.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Shut the fuck up.
I cannot.
Shut the fuck up.
Just say I can't rebuke it.
Refute.
Refute. You fucking moron.
Oh, now
If it's
you're
not,
serious?
if it's not a chemical, then what is it? We're not
You
moving
don't
on.
know what a vaccine is?
I'm asking you. If
So,
it's not a chemical, then what is it made up of?
Vaccine is usually a dead virus.
There's no chemicals at all in a vaccine.
I just told you what it was. You're not pumping kids full of chemicals. You're
So
giving
there's
them
no chemicals at all.
stimulating.
There's no chemicals in a vaccine at all.
You're stimulating their immune system so that they can resist pathogens. You don't even know what you're talking about, do you?
No, I'm asking you if it's
I might be able to help. I might be able to help. Norm, according to Google, and I'll stipulate that Google is not always right.
Yeah.
Vaccines and everything on Earth, including the human body, are made of chemicals.
Well, that's a silly thing to say, Stephen. It doesn't help, it hurts. Because that's to say pumping a child full of chemicals, like food is chemicals too.
So when you're using a needle,
No, wait,
If I may respond to Norm very quickly.
No,
Norm,
hang on, Steve.
sure, I'll hang on. I'll hang on.
Thank you for that. Thank you. So when you feed a child lunch, you're also pumping him full of chemicals, but it has no relationship to their intellectual development. Whether you give them a bologna sandwich or a peanut butter sandwich or a tuna fish sandwich, it's the same. It's the same. You're pumping them full of chemicals.
That's not pumping.
Yeah, why not? Why isn't it pumping? Well,
Because you're not using
pumping either. Well, what do you need a syringe for? You can give the polio vaccine on a sugar cube, dipshit. Did you not hear of the Sabin vaccine? It's given on sugar cubes, moron.
What about all the
really
other
don't know
ones?
why you're listen.
What about all the other ones? Oh, so I didn't watch my own daughter take all
Let's
these
start
cubes.
with
Is what you're trying to tell me.
polio.
I didn't watch my own.
Let's
Stop
start
talking
with
about polio.
polio.
I'm not talking about polio.
Why aren't you talking about
Because that's the only
polio?
one you can grasp onto.
It's
That's
one of the
not
first
injected with a
vaccines that
fucking
we
needle.
give. There's also you know what diphtheria is, or whooping
I'm talking about the ones you inject with a needle. We're just talking about
why are you
the ones
only
as a
talking
general,
about those?
as a generalization. All
Why
right.
are you only
You're
talking
trying to
about those?
nitpick a bunch of fucking nonsense to make yourself look right. The
what's
point
the
is
nonsense?
that when you use a
I asked
syringe
you a
that is
simple
pumping fluid, a
I asked
syringe
you a simple
pumps
question.
fluid.
I asked you a simple question. What's the relationship between vaccines and intellectual development? And you know very well that there is none. You made a stupid comment, and now you're running away by talking about pumping full of chemicals. Yes, everything on the planet is chemicals if you want to talk about that. But when you give a kid a vaccine, you're stimulating their immune system to resist an intrusive pathogen like polio or measles or diphtheria. You want your kid to get diphtheria, schmuck? People are such idiots.
I know, but why get upset about it?
I'm not. This is actually my entertainment, like watching sporting events.
Well, I just want to say good Shabbos, everybody. Rabbono Shalom, the master of the universe and the cosmic will of the master of the universe. He knows that Borla and Bill Gates are guilty as all hell. And when he sees them in the afterlife, he's going to do terrible things to terrible people. Because liars, thieves, criminals, murderers, in the afterlife, it will be extreme torture and horrific eternal pain. For you are politically and ideologically captured, and I feel bad for you. I'm sorry.
Fauci is a flawed human being. It's not. I think we all agree on that. And I don't know what, but that's a big deal. I'm not sure why it would be. I mean, he's flawed. So what? Everybody's flawed. What's the big deal? So no relationship between child intellectual development and vaccines, right? Right. So we don't have to worry about that. One less thing to worry about as parents.
Yeah, but there's no point in you being so abusive. You don't have to call him an idiot. Tell him how stupid he is.
Well, I only brought that up when he started using.
It could be, maybe you should just
When he started using the word motherfucker.
It's not entertaining for us.
It's okay. You don't have to listen to me. I'm not requiring you to do it.
I'm never. We were in the room. Yeah, I'm just saying, man. I know you know, Norm, I love you too, but you know,
I love you too.
Well, gentlemen, let's all just come back to the center of the circle and be at peace. And I just want to say that life is an experiment. You know, this room is an experiment. Mass vaccination of the world was an experiment. And as someone who also engages in experiments, just like all of you fine gentlemen, it's up to us to try to create the best experiments possible for the sake of ourselves and for, you know, humanity. And I think the COVID-19 mass vaccination experiment was a failure of science, a failure of leadership, and it was a fraud and a scam. And we should mass arrest all people involved, put them through re-education camps, and kill the worst offenders.
John, why did you use my photo in your profile? In your profile? Why did you take my photo?
This dude's comparing the flu vax to a fucking COVID vax.
Yes, I am. Yes, I
It's
am.
not vaccines aren't chemicals, right?
Beg your pardon? Everything is chemicals. Tuna fish is chemicals too, by the way. Don't give
But
me
why couldn't you tell me that vaccines were chemicals then? They were composed of chemicals.
Everything is chemicals.
But you told me that vaccines weren't and that I was stupid.
Air
So shut up.
Because it's a stupid chemical. You're pumping your kids full of chemicals. Yes, they eat Cheetos and they're pumped full of chemicals. They drink a juice. A juice box is pumping full of
A
chemicals.
juice box isn't going to have immediate detrimental effects to them.
Right. Exactly. And our vaccines? Which one? Tell us. Tell us the immediate
COVID, motherfucker. What are you talking about? COVID. COVID in itself.
Tell us the immediate detrimental effect of a COVID vaccine. I want to learn.
This country will never prosper until your generation is fucking gone.
Yes, you will be gone before me halfway down. Talking about my.
I mean, there's a ton of possibilities.
Well,
and there's a
just
ton.
one.
There's a ton of cases.
Just one.
Look, he told the story about what happened to his daughter. I mean, we all heard the story.
Yeah.
Remember that?
She's brilliant because he didn't vaccinate her.
I'm telling you, sir.
She vaccinated her and she went back a few months or whatever it was she developed. Yeah.
She had developmental disorder after that. And El Normo keeps making the claim that vaccines do not impair developmental cognitive disorder.
What's the correlation? I didn't say there wasn't one.
Well, anyways, gentlemen, I hope you all have a fabulous Shabbos. Rabbono Shalom. Drew, you cannot argue with vaccine politically, ideologically captured individuals. You just can't, Drew. It's a waste of your time, sir.
I'm not arguing about it.
I'm just. Sometimes it feels good just being a fucking retard.
I'm
Sometimes
just
you
in
just
favor of public health. And if you don't have any answers to anything I said, then it's obvious you don't know what the hell you're talking about. So I asked you 3 times in a row.
Oh my
What is the
God.
immediate detrimental effect of a vaccine? And as you and I both know, there aren't any more than there is for a tuna fish sandwich, or a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, on Wonder Bread, or if you prefer, you can use sprouted wheat bread. Which are all chemicals. What you're saying is just ridiculous and ignorant and primitive and medieval.
Well, let me just propose a little experiment. You go to the carnival, they got a bag of cotton candy for $1.99, or they got a free mRNA Pfizer spike protein vaccine injection fresh off the marketplace, approved by the FDA. And you have to choose one or the other. Who's going with the $1.99 cotton candy or the
Enough of the performance art.
I'm sorry. Did we just boot the guy that was giving a good theory?
No, I'm still here. Just I'm in a different form now. The point is, some people, they got buyer's remorse. They don't like to hear controversial, contrarian opinions to their position because it makes them uncomfortable.
I'm starting to think that Norm might just have friends in the medical industry. I think that's what's happening here.
It doesn't really matter whose Norm's friends are. The point is, Norm accuses me of performance art, but now I'm thinking Norm is actually the performative artist himself, not just me, progressive liberal. It's actually Norm's projection onto me that I'm a performance artist. But are you a performance artist, Norm? That's the question.
He's got the voice for it too, bro.
Thank you.
I'm not.
People do compliment me about my voice. Alma, what did you want to say? Alma Barry. What did you want to chime in about? Alma, raise your hand.
Maybe 7 or 8 before.
No, you didn't mention one.
I did, actually.
No, you didn't mention a single one.
Man, you're a master at fucking gaslighting.
No,
I literally have the
that's what it is. You don't have to argue with me about what you did. Just tell me what the immediate detrimental effect of a vaccine is if you know. And then we can move on. You're right here. You can just say it. You don't have to tell me what you think you said. What is it? Well, listen. The immediate detrimental effect of a vaccine as opposed to a bologna sandwich. Which bologna sandwich is chemicals, by the way. Ben, you have any insights?
Into what? AOC becoming president?
Yes.
Oh, he wants the response and then he mutes my mic.
No. If you have an answer, we want to hear. I didn't mute you just now.
You won't shut up.
Okay.
I was just reading off the list and then I realized I'm mute.
All right. So what's the first immediate detrimental effect of a vaccine? Go ahead.
That have happened to people as reported by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration and the CDC. You let me know. Let me know.
Okay. I'm still waiting.
When the bologna sandwich can cause myocarditis, pericarditis,
okay, let's stop right there.
anaphylaxis.
Hang on. Wait. We're going to go one at a time.
I'm reading from the CDC.
Hang on. Wait. One at a time. So it is your position that the immediate detrimental effect of a vaccine is myocarditis. Right? The immediate detrimental effect of a vaccine is myocarditis. Is that your position? Because you just said it. I want to make sure I heard you. No? No answer? Okay. Ben, what about AOC?
You keep muting my mic. Stop muting my mic.
Okay, I'll stop muting your mic.
Norm,
what about AOC?
Norm, did you mute his mic?
No.
Oh, no, has been exposed.
And he kicked me off stage as he said, "Fine, I'll stop muting your mic."
Yes.
Come on, bro.
So I asked you a question. You didn't have an answer for it. You just want to argue.
Norm, you're being a little heavy-handed today, man. You are. You definitely are.
I plead guilty to that. But do we really want to talk with vaccine deniers? It's not.
I'll give you. Whatever. I mean, it's a slow part of the afternoon.
Is that really what you want to talk to somebody who thinks that vaccines are like the root of all evil or something?
What's the matter, bro? I start bringing evidence, and now all of a sudden you don't want to talk about it anymore.
I asked you a question.
I don't want to hear from you. Well, that brings up a good point. And since, unfortunately, I didn't have the opportunity to respond during that one, which you said I would. Norm, since you don't want to talk about that, what do you want to talk about?
I'll talk about anything if we don't stop.
Anything except vaccines. Is that what you're saying?
Not at all. And by the way, I forgot to get back to you. But
I know you did. Or is it just you'll talk to anything about anybody except him? Is that what you're saying?
No, I just wanted, as in your words, I just want the conversation not to suck.
Well, to do that, Norm, you can't be so heavy-handed as you've been.
I'll lighten up a little bit, but
buddy. This is Reverend Scott's room.
My daughter took a.
You can't interrupt people literally 15 times in 5 minutes.
I definitely can. I can do it more. And by the way,
you said you wanted to have a meaningful conversation, and even I can't have a meaningful conversation
if I interrupt somebody 15 times in less than 5 minutes?
You can. I'll show you how to do it.
I guess
I'm happy to
All right, well, I'm going to go on mute.
I guess it depends on how you define meaningful. Apparently, in Norm's view, meaningful conversation means he gets to interrupt people constantly.
No, meaningful means not sucking.
Okay, well,
so you encourage the good part and you discourage the bad part.
Right, but these are all.
Norm's the roast of
You not agree with that?
I don't.
Do you think that there's objectivity to this?
Yes, 100%.
Okay. So why not invite Drew back on stage so that we can actually have a conversation? If you guys,
He's not capable of it, so I'm discouraging the bad stuff and trying to encourage the good.
Okay, so we have 3 moderators on stage. I would like to be part of a meaningful conversation. Otherwise, I'm going to leave the room and go somewhere else.
I want to have a meaningful
I
conversation.
think meaningful is 100% subjective. And Norm, I would encourage you to disagree with me and be specific.
Okay, no thanks.
You said meaningful is objective. That's what you said, right?
That's right, yes.
Okay, so please support your point and be specific.
No, I don't want to have that conversation.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not even going to ask you why. I'm not even going to pursue it. I'm going to go on.
So, Nora, would you say that no person has experienced myocarditis immediately following the vaccine? Is that what you were trying to counter with, or?
No, I said, what are the immediate detrimental effects of the vaccine?
And would you include possible adverse events, or no?
Listen, all human activity includes the possibility of adverse events. But if I said, for example, walking leads to a broken leg, the immediate detrimental effect of walking is a broken leg, that would be a foolish statement. So yes, it is entirely possible that in the wide, let's say we administered these vaccines, like more than 1 billion of them, right? Should we check and see? So in the vast population of over 1 billion people, I'm sure there were some negative reactions.
But I think it's just like a rational claim to say that it might not make sense, for example, for young males to get the COVID vaccine because their risk associated with myocarditis and other cardiac adverse events is actually higher relative to the risk that they might catch COVID and get it. Like if you got that, if you were
it would have to be discussed. It would be a mathematical and medical conversation. Yes, it wouldn't be just, well, I know somebody who took the vaccine and then they died. That wouldn't be the conversation. The conversation would be, what is the risk?
But it seemed like when I joined the stage anyways, he wasn't saying that somebody said something. He said that he was literally quoting the CDC.
Well, someone, I don't know if it was him, did make a claim of like, my daughter didn't get vaccines and is doing better than my other friend's daughter who did get vaccines.
Right.
It was that level of retardedness for a second, but I think we were getting to a point of maybe some...
You might think it's retarded, but it wasn't done with that level of like snooty behavior.
Just to be clear, I'm not taking your side of the issue or Norm's side of the issue. I just want to dialogue. That's all I want.
I was right. I had the list of reported CDC and U.S. Food and Drug Administration reported facts of the list. I made the top, let me see, what do I have here? The top 10? I had a list of the top 10 reported from the CDC adverse reactions people have had. I'm not saying, and I never said, that the second you take a vaccine, that doesn't cover me saying there are people out there that have had an immediate or within 24-hour adverse effects from a vaccine, particularly COVID.
No. So you said that, unlike a bologna sandwich, I looked it up.
You go ahead.
So the risk of developing myocarditis, inflammation of the heart muscle from a COVID-19 vaccine is exceedingly rare, ranging from approximately 5 to 10 cases per 100,000 individuals vaccinated overall. So it's 5 to 10 per 100,000.
It might help if I read the Cambridge Dictionary definition of detrimental. The word
don't think it will.
I think it will. I think it will.
Well, we know.
Well, you know what? Give me 30 seconds, Norm, please.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Sure.
The word detrimental, according to the Cambridge Dictionary, means, quote, causing harm, damage, or injury. It is a formal way to say that something is bad or negative for a person or thing. Therefore, arguably, and I'm just saying arguably, detrimental could be a red spot at the injection site that causes pain for 24 hours. That could qualify under the definition, which obviously is the least form of adverse effect. Obviously, the worst form of adverse effect would be death, and somewhere in between might be temporary myocarditis. And I think that was, Norm, productive to this conversation.
You're right, it was. You got there from a side approach, and you're right, it was.
I got there from speaking the truth.
Yeah, but you approached it sideways, saying we were going to define detrimental.
Well, you know what, Norm? I like to think outside the box, which occasionally does come sideways.
Yeah, it was good. It was lateral.
Did you also look up a definition for the word curmudgeon?
I did not.
So 5 to 10 cases per 100,000, I would say, is not what you would call an immediate detrimental effect from taking a vaccine. I would say, as I said before, there will be some rare allergic responses, and you could work on those with your doctor and see if you are more likely to have a bad effect from a vaccine. And I think in some cases, probably some people shouldn't take it, and that's between them and their doctor.
Arguably under the definition I just read, 100% of the people that took detrimental effect, although a majority of them would be extremely minor. I don't hear anybody disagreeing with me.
Well, now you're really.
We're both right and we're both wrong in our respective opinions.
Ding and ding, ding.
I can admit it, but Norm is so quick to it. He can't admit it. I can admit when I'm wrong.
Steve is mocking you by saying the detrimental effect.
Hello,
Yes.
I'm not mocking anybody. I'm trying to middle the conversation and come a general